I gave away $400 to beginners in a Super Smash Bros. Melee tournament. Let's back up a bit. My name is Joober, and I host a tournament series called Joob Jam, featuring various categories such as fighting games, racing games, and battle royales. They were all super hype.
This is Joob Jam, baby! I've never seen this before! Only a Joob Jam 4!
Take it home today?
Oh my god!
He hit him by chilling, dude!
Anyway, I noticed more and more of my homies on Twitch showing interest in a certain fighting game lately, Super Smash Bros. Melee, my personal favorite game of all time. What better way to encourage their interest than to host a tourney for beginners only? All of the entrants have less than 1 month of experience with the game, so I was eager to see what the best of the best had to offer. I decided to call this tournament Joob Jam Jr. to commemorate our fresh batch of competitive monsters. But what I wasn't expecting was the amount of signups I'd get. You see, I've never hosted a tournament this big before, with 32 entrants. Suddenly there was a lot for me to learn in terms of being a tournament organizer, or TO for short. This includes seeding, bracket formats, and most importantly, how I was going to watch and broadcast the gameplay of a GameCube game from 2001. Well, actually, that last one's pretty simple. Slippy has a feature that allows me to spectate the entrants' games as long as they're broadcasting to me. The rule set's pretty standard: items off, no infinite combos, or more specifically a technique called wobbling, timers set to 8 minutes, and the competitive legal stages are Final Destination, Battlefield, Yoshi's Story, Fountain of Dreams, Dreamland 64, and Pokemon Stadium. Some additional rules I established included how we would decide a match between bad connection, which happened to be way less of a problem than I was anticipating, and that participants may only enter if they're ranked Bronze 3 or lower, which is the lowest tier of ranked Melee. This ensures that everybody stays within the same skill level of each other. It wasn't easy, but I found solutions to every issue in my path, and on Friday, January 13th, 2023, we were able to start the tournament.
Welcome back to Joob Jam.
The bracket format is double elimination, meaning that if you lose your first set, you're sent to the loser's bracket, where you can still fight your way to grand finals. Lose 2 sets, and you're out. Unfortunately, a quarter of our entrants went 0-2. Our story begins in Winners Round 4, where we'll start to see a few specific players emerge more dominant over the others. Thomas England, Dan Corona, and Nate Plays Bad. Don't be fooled. Just because it's called Loser's Bracket does not mean that there weren't some absolute animals down there. Keep your eye on Keo Plays, LogicDefender, and Brutalic in the Loser's Bracket. In Losers Round 5, Brutalic, the Dr. Mario main, would fall to Keo's Jigglypuff in a grueling Game 5, despite stomping out the competition thus far with Doc. In Winners Round 4, Thomas England's Falco went 3-1 against Dan Corona's Sheik, who looked unstoppable until this point. Dan would fall to Loser's Bracket and play Keo in his next round. Dan and Keo would have perhaps the most intense set of the entire tournament. Due to an unfortunate self-destruct in Game 1, Keo would go up 2-0 against Dan. Against all odds, Dan Corona would emerge victorious, pulling off a monumental reverse 3-0 in bracket of his very first tournament. At this point, chat was referring to Dan as the people's champion. They wanted to see him take it all the way. But unfortunately, his story ends in the next round, as LogicDefender takes it in a nail-biting Game 5, last stock, last hit. Dan was out of the tournament at 4th place, and LogicDefender moves on. If you want to know more about Dan Corona's incredible run at Joob Jam Jr., you can check out this video he did on his channel. I'll put the link in the description. It was at this point where a few things happened outside of Slippy. First and foremost, some of you may have noticed that in the original graphic of the rule set I showed, it said $150 prize pool. But at the start of the video, I said I gave away $400 in prizes. This is because during the live stream, I got 2 extremely generous donations from Brewis19 and Jigsaw that were requested to go directly into the prize pool. With $150 from Brewis and $100 from Jigsaw, the prize pool nearly tripled. Here we have Jigsaw, a generous viewer who donated $100 towards the prize pool of Joob Jam Jr. I've got to know, Jigsaw, why'd you do it?
Well, there's someone in chat talking about raising the prize pool. And, I said to him, someone does half, I'll match it and double the prize pool. He ended up going above with $150, I think. So I sent in my own 100 to give these players something extra if they win, out there for a long time, playing hard, great event.
It was for the love of the game?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we appreciate you. Melee forever. Huge shout out to them. Thank you once again. For each Joob Jam event I host, I like to find a musical guest to keep the viewers entertained and space out the matches a little bit. So I asked the homie SmasherMagazine if I could play some of his DJ clips where he scratches famous Melee moments.
Finally,
Smasher is an incredibly talented individual. I've linked his channel in the description as well, so please make sure you show him some love if you enjoyed. Transitioning back into Melee, our list of remaining entrants has diminished from 32 to just 3. All 3 of these competitors have placed in the money, but who will take it all? In winner's semifinals, the Titan Thomas England clashes with the juggernaut that we haven't even mentioned yet, Nate Plays Bad. And it was a wash. Nate rolls Thomas 3-0 with Dr. Mario, banishing him to losers to face off against LogicDefender. It's here in losers finals where we witnessed an immovable object meet an unstoppable force, with Thomas England squaring off with LogicDefender on the sticks. The games were close, the tensions were high, but in yet another Game 5 situation, Logic did this. Thomas England's run ends at 3rd place. As of the scripting process, he has yet to claim his winnings. But just as we were gearing up for grand finals, my worst nightmare for this stream had become a reality. My internet cut out. I was losing viewers, momentum, and motivation rapidly. After a few minutes of denial, I cut my losses and I raided Nate Plays Bad. He was already guaranteed to be in grand finals, so the audience would get to see the climax of the tournament regardless. I hadn't entirely given up hope, as I commentated offline, albeit poorly and shaken, while I prayed for my internet to return. The connection was unstable at best, but I was able to reconnect right as the stars aligned. I got a huge raid from the homie Afghans.
He will burn down an orphanage.
What?
My viewership was back, and I caught my second wind. I was ready to finish commentating this tournament. Nate tore his way through winner's bracket with grace and style, not dropping a single game. He was aiming to keep it that way, as he stared down LogicDefender, the dark horse of the tournament. Logic was sent to losers by Kio's Puff in round 1, and he clawed his way through loser's bracket like his life depended on it. He was playing hot and praying to maintain his momentum. And that's exactly what he did. Dr. Mario Main was crumbling before our very eyes, visibly shaken by the red Marth Phenom. After a rather quick 3-0, Logic had reset the bracket and we were going to see a second set of grand finals, the final set of the tournament. Now, I wish this story had a more interesting finale, but it was another 3-0 blowout. Congratulations to our first ever Joob Jam Junior Champion, LogicDefender, and his red Marth. This doesn't come without controversy, however. Many entrants insisted that our victor was a rat addicted to some cheesy strategies. Upon some close VOD review, my good friend ClimberHere painstakingly watched every single game Logic played in the tournament and counted his grabs and his forward smashes, even going as far as to create a graphic as seen here. As we can see here, Logic attempted to grab 829 times, with 602 of them connecting. During his tournament run, he also attempted forward smash 455 times, with 237 of them connecting successfully. Despite his heavy reliance on these moves, the numbers speak for themselves. LogicDefender is definitely the best of the new faces on the scene, and if you're looking to step up your game, make sure to check him out on Twitch and ask him to run some friendlies. Little did I know that while the rest of the tournament was going on, my homie 1019Hurt was hard at work making a graphic for top 8 without even asking me. They are incredibly talented and you should show them some love as well. Now, before we wrap up, I'd like to highlight some key moments from the tournament, starting with these clips of Magooies and Kryptonic destroying their controllers.
Wanky, I'm gonna bang Adam's mother tonight. Holy fuck, man.
There were also some great pop-offs.
We're prioritizing
Look at him.
Sheik and Dan,
Look at
and
it.
Thomas
Oh!
is gonna move on.
Let's go!
Let's go!
And some sad defeats.
Yeah, thank God. GG.
If I have any mods in chat, oh! No way. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is that it? Is it over? No, he's still alive. He's living. The recovery is not enough. Kio's gonna move on.
But at the end of the day, it was a great showing. Before we end, there are some important shoutouts I'd like to mention. A big thank you to everybody who made this tournament possible, including the entrants. I couldn't have held this tournament without you, so I want to thank you for entering once again. Thank you to my editor Spicy, who put this video together in just 2 days. I'd like to thank 1019Hurt again for the amazing graphics, including the rule set and the top 8 graphic. A massive thank you to my co-commentator Gerd. He also handled a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff and helped me organize the tournament. Shout out to SmasherMagazine, who allowed me to use his DJ clips as our musical guest segment. I want to say thank you to Afghans for giving me a second win with that clutch raid. Thank you to Climber for the stats and graphics on Logic's grabs and forward smashes. And thank you for watching. If I didn't have an audience, I wouldn't be able to host events like this. I hope you enjoyed, and I can't wait to see you all in a few months for the Silvers Only tournament. Start grinding. As always, make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe while you're down there. Thank you for watching, and bye forever.